In the last lecture, we have discussed about the phase detector. In a phase detector, there are two types of the phase detector we have studied. One is analog phase detector and second is digital phase detector. In analog phase detector, we have studied about the switch type phase detector and balance modulator phase detector. In a digital phase detector, we have discussed the phase detector using the exclusive OR gate. Today we are discussing one more digital phase detector using RS flip-flop using a NOR gate, and then we'll discuss the voltage control oscillator circuit. So I am starting your first topic of the today lecture is the phase detector using RS flip-flop. Phase detector using RS flip-flop, or it is called digital phase detector. I am showing you the RS flip-flop using a NOR gate. This is a circuit diagram of RS flip-flop using NOR gate. The circuit diagram of a RS flip-flop using NOR gate is as shown in figure. This circuit is useful when incoming frequency Fs and frequency of the voltage control oscillator VCO, that is FO, are pulse waveform with duty cycle less than 50%. The output of the RS flip-flop changes state when the leading edge of the Fs and Fo will appear as shown in figure. The output of the RS flip-flop change its state on the leading edge of Fs and Fo as shown in figure. The graph of a output voltage versus phase difference between Fs and Fo is shown in figure. There is a linear relation between the output voltage and phase difference between Fs and Fo for 2 pi. I am showing you the waveform of Fs and Fo. This is your incoming frequency Fs. This I am showing you the output of the VCO. This is the signal Fs. This is the signal Fs and this signal is Fo. During this leading edge of the signal Fs and Fo, the output changes state. See here how the output change the state at every leading edge of the Fs and Fo that I am showing you in the diagram. This is your leading edge. First I am showing you. This is your output. I am showing you here output is change the state when it is, and it remain in this state 1 up to the leading edge of the FO Here again it change the state. Again when the at the leading edge of the rising edge of the FO is change the state. So this is your see here, this is your input signal. This is a signal from VCO that I have given at the reset point. This the signal is given to the set point. When the input signal changing the state, then output changes state. When again the what FO change the state, then output changes state. If you plot the graph of output versus phase difference between FS and FO, then you will get the linear relations between output voltage and phase difference. The edge trigger RS flip-flop phase detector has a better capture tracking and locking characteristics compared to the digital phase detector using exclusive OR gate. The reason is that the output DC voltage for a RS flip-flop is linear up to 360 degree compared to the digital phase detector using exclusively OR gate. In a exclusively OR gate, the output is a linear up to 180 degree. For this reason, edge trigger phase detector using RS flip-flop is better compared to exclusive OR gate digital phase detector. The digital phase detector is also available in a monolithic IC form. The IC number MC 4044 and 4344 is a digital phase detector. This IC gives the linear relation between the input and output characteristics up to 4 pi radian. Now I am discussing the voltage control oscillator. The pin configuration and internal block diagram of IC 566 VCO is shown in figure. So I am showing you, this is a IC 566, it's a 8-pin IC and this is a VCO. So this is your pin number 1, pin number 2, this is a pin number 3, this is a pin number 4, here pin number 5, this is your 6, 7 and 8. Pin number 8 you have to connect the supply, pin number 1 you have to connect the ground. There is no connection for the pin number 2. Pin number 3 you will get your square wave output at the pin number 3. At the pin number 4 you will get triangle waveform output, triangular waveform at the pin number 4. At pin number 5 it's for modulating voltage. If you want to give some external voltage, modulating voltage VC. Pin number 5 it is a pin for the modulating voltage VC. Pin number 6 you have to connect the timing resistor. Pin number 7 you have to connect the timing capacitor, and pin number 8 it is your supply voltage VCC. Now I am showing the internal block diagram of a IC 566. Here I am showing you this is a constant current source. This is your one block of a constant current source. which can supply and sink the charging and discharging current. Here's resistor RT is connected. This is a pin number 6. Yes, this is a pin number 5, that is for the VC. Here timing capacitor is I am showing you. This is buffer. This is a buffer, you can say. Buffer, already you know what is a buffer means. And the output of buffer is given to the Schmitt trigger. This is a Schmitt trigger. This is a non-inverting terminal. Inverting terminal I am connecting to the here I am showing you. This is your inverter. This is your A3. It is a inverter. See, this is a pin number 7. This is a pin number 1. It is your ground. This resistor is RA. Let me say this is RB. This is your Schmitt trigger. I am writing here Schmitt trigger. This is your buffer. This is your inverter circuit. Now already you know that the output of the buffer will be like this. That I will show. This is your triangle waveform. It's a pin number 4 here, and the output of the Schmitt trigger I am showing you, it is a square wave. So is a pin number, you can say, 3, and the inverter will invert the waveform appear at the pin number 3. So this inverter invert this waveform that I am showing you here. This invert the waveform. Okay. Here the pin number 8, and here we are giving the plus VCC. This is a pin number 6, already you have mentioned. This is a pin number 6. This is a 5. This is a CT. This is RT. This is a modulating voltage VC you are giving here. This is RA and RB. So this is your internal block of a 566 VCO IC. Here is your output, the square wave I am showing you, and it will be inverted by this. Okay. This is a pin number 3, is already I have mentioned here. This is a pin number 3. This is a pin number 3. The pin number 4. 1 ground, 7, 8, 6, 5. Listen again. The pin configuration and internal block of a IC 566 for VCO is shown in figures. In this, here you can say pin number 1 I have to connect to the ground. Here it is ground. 8 is your supply voltage that we have connected to the supply voltage, and pin number 2 has no connection. 3 at the 3 you are getting square wave output, that this is at this point square wave output. I am showing you here like this square wave output. At the pin number 4 you are getting a triangle waveform. This is a pin number 4, is a triangle waveform. At this due to charging and discharging you are getting a triangle waveform. So before the Schmitt triggers at this point, so I am showing you pin number 4 here, and pin number 5 is a modulating voltage VC. So here I am writing this is a modulating voltage VC, and CT is connected, the timing capacitor is connected at the pin number 7. This at 6 you have connected the timing resistors. Okay. Now this is your constant current source. This is your buffer. This is your Schmitt trigger, this is an inverter. This timing capacitor is charged or discharged by the constant current source or sink. The block of the constant current source supply or sink the necessary current during the charging and discharging of the capacitor CT. The amount of the current can be changed by applying a voltage VC at the modulating voltage pin number 5, or the amount of current can be changing by changing a external resistor RT, timing resistor RT. Pin number 5 and pin number 6 are held at the same potential. As a result, when VC increases, the voltage across RT decreases. As remember, this VC, you are increasing this voltage. These are joints, these are all our joints. So voltage across RT decreases, or you can say potential. This is fixed potential. This is connected. One end is connected to one end of RT connected to VCC. Another end of RT is connected to VC. So as VC increases, potential difference across RT decreases, so current I decreases. In this way you can change the current. I am showing you a typical circuit diagram of a IC 566. Here with the pin number 8 we are connecting the supply. Here resistor R1 and R2 potential divider network is used. If you want to change the voltage VC, modulating voltage VC, between pin number 5 and 6, 0.001 microfarad capacitor is connected. To avoid the oscillation, timing capacitor is connected to the pin number 7. At the pin number 3 we are getting a square wave output. At pin number 4 we are getting the triangular wave output. 0.001 microfarad capacitor is connected between the 5 and 6 to avoid the oscillation. Charging and discharging of the capacity produce the triangle waveform, and this triangle waveform is given to the Schmitt triggers, and Schmitt trigger convert triangle waveform into the square wave. The Schmitt trigger is designed in such a way that the output of the square wave is between VCC to the 0.5 VCC. So high voltage of the Schmitt trigger is VCC and low voltage of the Schmitt trigger is 0.5 VCC. The charging and discharging of the capacitor produces the triangle waveform. This triangle waveform is given to the inverting terminal of a Schmitt trigger through the buffer, and the Schmitt trigger convert this triangle waveform in a square wave. The Schmitt trigger is designed in a such a way that the output voltage swing between VCC and 0.5 VCC, means high voltage of the Schmitt trigger is VCC and low voltage is 0.5 VCC. That is very important to understand, and that is given feedback to the input to the non-inverting terminal. See, you can see this is a feedback. This feedback is given to the non-inverting terminal. When this is VCC, then this voltage may be this 0.5 VCC. Reason is that if I take the RA is equal to RB, if I take RA is equal to RB, if I take RA is equal to RB, then when high voltage will come, at that time here voltage is how much? 0.5 VCC. Listen again, this is you have to understand most important thing. When high voltage will come, then voltage at this point will be 0.5 VCC if RA and RB are equal. If the low voltage will come, then voltage at this point will be is nothing but the 0.25 VCC. I think you understand. Listen again. When high voltage will come, yes, so due to equal capacitor, then according to the voltage divider equation, you can say when it is VCC here output, the voltage at the non-inverting terminal will be is nothing but 0.5 VCC. When output is 0.5 VCC, then voltage at the non-inverting terminal will be 0.25 VCC. The reason is that RA and RB are equal. Those who do not understand this argument, for then I am showing you this potential divider network. This RA, this RB, both are equal. If this is VCC, so this voltage will be 0.5 VCC. If this is your 0.5 VCC, then this will be 0.25 VCC, because voltage will be half due to the both the resistors are same. I think you understand this. Again I am showing you. Look here. Due to potential divider network, you can say when VCC will come here, the voltage at this point will be 0.5 VCC. This is given to the non-inverting terminal of a Schmitt trigger. If this is VCC, you will get 0.5 VCC. If this is your 0.5 VCC, then this will be 0.25 VCC. So that this argument I will use in a how you are getting the waveform. So I think you understand this. The output of the Schmitt trigger I am showing you, it will be high. Output of the Schmitt trigger will be high. I think you understand. So listen again. This voltage, compare this voltage, compare with this, and you will get that output here. Here output is VCC. As a result, here voltage is what I have written, 0.5 VCC. When the voltage at the inverting terminal, and this voltage you are getting due to charging of the capacitor, when this voltage is less than 0.5 voltage, means this non-inverting voltage is more, so output is high. When the charging of the capacitor is more than the 0.5 VCC, immediately output of Schmitt trigger will be low. Reason is that this voltage is only 0.5 VCC. When this become more than 0.5 VCC, output will be low. That I am showing you the low output of the Schmitt trigger. This is pin number 3 I am showing you here. So listen again. When this is your charging, when this is charging, the voltage at this pin is what? Increases. When this voltage is more than the 0.5 VCC, immediately output will be low. But up to 0.5 VCC, this voltage up to 0.5 VCC, this voltage is more than this voltage. Already know the comparator and Schmitt triggers, already I have discussed in a previous lecture. So your output is high, so output is high. When this voltage is more than the 0.5 VCC, immediately the output will be your low. So output is low, I am showing you, see here. When output is low, already I have discussed here, when output is low means how much? 0.5 VCC at the Schmitt trigger, and that is given feedback to the non-inverting terminal. So this voltage will be now, this voltage will be nothing but the, you can say, 0.25 VCC. So as this become 0.25 VCC, the capacitor start discharging, this is discharging. When this discharging voltage will become 0.25 VCC, less than 0.25 VCC, immediately this voltage is more. Look again what I am discussing. When this voltage is more than the 0.5 VCC, immediately output of Schmitt trigger is low. As output of Schmitt trigger is low, this voltage become low, this voltage become 0.25 VCC. So as a result, capacitor start discharging. This capacitor start discharging. So capacitor voltage rises from 0 to 0.5 VCC up to 0 to 0.5 VCC. Output of Schmitt trigger is high. when the voltage at the inverting terminal is more than the 0.5 VCC, then immediately the output of Schmitt trigger will be low. Reason is that the voltage at the inverting terminal is more than the voltage at non-inverting terminal. At that time here voltage is 0.5 VCC, here this voltage is, as this becomes slightly more than the 0.5 VCC, immediately output will be negative. Negative means what? Low. Low means how much I have written? 0.5 VCC. Already I told you the Schmitt trigger is designed in a such a way that output swing between VCC and 0.5 VCC. So this 0.5 VCC is feedback to here. So due to potential divider network, this voltage will be 0.25 VCC. So voltage at the non-inverting terminal is now 0.25 VCC. As a result, capacitor start discharging. When the discharging voltage means voltage at the capacitor will be less than 0.25. When this voltage become less than the 0.25 voltage, again output will be high. Due to charging and discharging of the capacitor, will get the square wave output as shown in figure, and this is you are getting output at the, you can say, Schmitt trigger, and due to inverter your output will be invert of this diagram, invert of this waveform. This is your at output, you can say, after inverter you are getting. So I think you understand this discussion. Look again here, this is a charging voltage or voltage rises at the capacitors, that already I have shown here. Okay, so here you will get the voltage here, it is rising voltage, output here VCC, as VCC, feedback voltage is given here. Here feedback voltage is 0.5 VCC. When this voltage is more than the 0.5 VCC, immediately output will be change, it become low. So output is low. Output is low means as output is low. So already I have shown here, see, look here, this is during the risings up to 0.5 VCC, voltage is high. As it is more than 0.5 VCC, voltage become low. So due to the charging and discharging of the capacitor, we are getting the square wave, and that is the due to charging and discharging waveform is given to the Schmitt trigger at the inverting terminal, and we are getting the square wave at the output as shown in this diagram at the pin number 4. So here you can see voltage across the capacitor changes from 0.5 VCC to 0.25 VCC. I will use this word, that's why I am telling you. You see here, the voltage across capacitor from changing from 0.5 VCC to 0.25 VCC. When the voltage is less than 0.5 VCC, output is high. From 0.5 VCC to 0.25 VCC, output of Schmitt trigger is low. As again the voltage at the inverting terminal of Schmitt trigger is below 0.25 VCC, again output is high. In this way you are getting the square wave at the output of the Schmitt triggers, and due to inverters you are getting like this. A3 is a current amplifier which is used to drive the load. VCO is used commonly for converting the low frequency signal coming from EEG and EKG into the audio frequency range. These audio signal can be transmitted to the telephone line or two-way communication systems for diagnosis purpose. It can be recorded also on a magnetic tape recorder or magnetic tape. Now let us see the derivation of the frequency FO for a VCO. Change in voltage across capacitors, already I told you, it is 0.5 VCC to minus 0.25 VCC. So This change in the voltage across capacitor is 0.25 VCC. The capacitor charged with the constant current source, and that current is given by delta Q by delta T, where Q is nothing but C into V I am writing. So it is delta by delta T into C into V. So I can write I is equal to C into delta V upon delta T, and you know that delta T is nothing but the C into delta V upon current, and delta V just have written, it is 0.25 VCC. Now let us find the current. You already know that I told you in the beginning, here this is connected plus VCC, here it is connected VC. So current I is given by VCC minus VC upon RT. That value I have to put here. So I am putting, I will write 0.25 VCC into C upon, I am putting the value of the current, so I can write delta in this way. Now already you know this is your, see I am showing you here, this is a charging time, this is a discharging time, this is a charging time, this is a discharging time. So this is your periodic time T. So T I can show it is your 2 into delta T. It's very simple. This your time is delta T. So I can easily write the periodic times is given by 2 into 0.25 VCC into RT into CT. Actually I have to mention CT. We have written CT here. So I have to write CT here. So upon VCC minus VC, so I can write T is equal to 0.5 VCC into RT CT upon VCC minus VC. So frequency F is equal to 1 upon T. I can write this your VCC minus VC upon 0.5 VCC RT into CT. This is the another way of writing like this also. So this equation say that the frequency FO can be changed by changing the value of VC, RT and CT. This equation show that the FO will be changed by changing the VC, RT and CT. If any one of these is changed, then frequency FO will be changed. The voltage VC can be changed by potential divider network R1 and R2 as shown in figure. Already I have shown the diagram. In that, if you by changing the value of R1 and R2, you can change the value of VC. Components RT and CT are selected in a VCO in a such a way that the frequency FO lies at the center of the operating frequency range. If we give the VC voltage 7/8 VCC, then FO can be written as this way, minus 7/8 VCC upon, you can write VCC RT into CT. If you calculate this value, you will get nearly about, this is your 0.25 RT into CT. You can see, yes. The expression of frequency F0 depends upon the initial value of the voltage VC. Now I am discussing voltage to frequency conversion factor expressed by kV. The voltage to frequency conversion factor is given by the ratio of delta FO to delta VC. Here delta VC is the modulation voltage required to produce the frequency shift delta F0 for VCO. Delta F0 is given by F1 minus F0. F1 is greater than F0. Here F0 I can write to VCC minus VC upon RT, CT, VCC, and F1 is nothing but the change in the frequency due to the changing modulating voltage. Look here, this delta F0 I have written F1 minus F0, F1 is greater than F0, F0 already you know this equation. Now I am changing the modulating voltage VC, or I am decreasing this FC minus delta VCC, so I can write this F1 in this way. Now let us put the value of F1 and F0 and put this here F1 and minus F0 is this. Only you to do the simplification. It's a very simple mathematical step. Here this is the cancels, this VC is cancelled, so only this is the equations. So I can write 2 delta VC upon RT, CT and VCC. But already you know that we have written F0 is nothing but the 0.25 upon RT into CT. So by putting this value in above equation I can write, I am using this value, this is your, look here, 1 upon RT CT is nothing but I can write, this is your 4F0. So above equation can be written as delta F0 is nothing but the 8, this is F0 into delta VC upon VCC. So your factor delta F0 upon delta V, you are getting 8 F0 upon VCC. So the voltage to frequency conversion factor kV is given by 8 F0 upon VCC. kV is the ratio of change in the FO due to change in the modulation voltage, and kV can be derived by this method. It is a very simple method. And finally I am getting kV is 8 F0 upon VCC. Here is the end of the lectures.